This is the new Mercedes AMG EQE 53, the second high-performance electric car from AMG. It's a bit smaller than the EQS 53, which I've already driven, and it's an alternative to the Tesla Model 3 Performance. And here are the carwow top 10 things you need to know about it.
Buying a new car? Then head to carwow, and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. Carwow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Sometimes AMG goes a bit wild, like when it turned the GT Coupe into the crazy Black Series model. But sometimes it plays things safe and barely changes anything. Unfortunately, the new AMG EQE takes the second option, the lazy option. It looks almost exactly the same as the normal AMG line version of the regular EQE. The headlights have the same arrow-shaped daytime running lights, and the back vents underneath are just as fake as the ones on the normal EQE. The blanked-off grille is a bit different though. Now it has loads of vertical chrome bars instead of hundreds of small three-pointed stars, so it looks the same as the grille on the EQS AMG 53. But if you thought these changes were subtle, wait till you see the new AMG EQE from the side. Yep, it looks exactly the same as the regular car. Well, apart from some new alloy wheels, but more on those later. At least the back looks a bit different. There's a thicker bit of black trim around the number plate, and you get some new vents behind the back wheels. It still doesn't look as exciting as an AMG E63S, but at least it's more interesting than a Tesla Model 3 Performance or a Model S Plaid. Actually, I prefer the look of the Model S Plaid, to tell you the truth. Anyhow, I pinned a comment below the video where you can actually vote on which car you think looks the best, the AMG EQE, a Tesla Model 3 Performance, or a Tesla Model S Plaid. AMG has given the EQE a few subtle interior upgrades, a bit like the ones you get in the bigger, more powerful AMG EQS 53. There are some more supportive seats with different stitching and a couple of AMG logos on the headrests. There's also a new flat bottom steering wheel with some new switches for the car's different drive modes. I'll tell you more about those in a bit. Annoyingly though, the massive hyperscreen infotainment system is still an optional upgrade in these AMG models, just like in the normal EQE. But at least you do get some new AMG specific menus for it, with racier graphics and a dedicated lap timer. The new AMG EQE comes in two different versions, the AMG 43 and the faster, more powerful AMG 53. Now don't go thinking the 43 is just an AMG light though, it's a serious performance car. It comes with dual motors that are similar to the ones Mercedes puts in the normal EQE and EQS models, but AMG has tweaked their control systems to give you a total of 476 horsepower and 858 Newton meters of torque. That's not far off the 490 horsepower you get from a Tesla Model 3 Performance. The EQE 43 has the Model 3 Performance beat on torque though. Its motors produce almost 200 Newton meters more than you get from the Tesla. All this means that EQE 43 does 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4.2 seconds. That's pretty quick, but it's not a match for the Tesla. A standard Model S does 0 to 60 in around 3.1 seconds, and a Model 3 Performance takes about 3.3 seconds. Now if you want more performance, you're going to need to step up to the AMG EQE 53. For a start, it comes with different motors that were developed specifically for the AMG version. They have different electrical windings and a new electrical inverter that helps them spin faster and operate with a higher electrical current. Basically, this means they make much more power. The AMG EQE 53 cranks out 626 horsepower and 950 Newton meters of torque, which is 150 horsepower and 92 Newton meters more than the 43 model. This means it's quicker. It'll do 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds instead of 4.2 seconds. Now you might be thinking, hang on, that's still slower than a Tesla Model 3 Performance. Well, yeah it is. But AMG has a trick up its sleeve, the AMG Dynamic Plus Pack. This upgrade boosts the EQE 53's motors to 687 horsepower and 1000 Newton meters of torque. Now that's nowhere near the power you get from a Model S Plaid, you know, it has 1020 horsepower, but it's almost 200 horsepower more than the Tesla Model 3 Performance. And this upgrade also comes with a new boost mode for the launch control system, which cuts the EQE 53's 0 to 60 time from 3.5 seconds to 3.3 seconds, which is the same as a Model 3 Performance. Wait a second. If the EQE 53 has lots more power than the Tesla, why isn't it much quicker? Well, it's probably to do with the fact that it's quite heavy. The 43 and 53 versions of the EQE both weigh in at 2,525 kilos, which is almost 500 kilos heavier than a Tesla Model 3 Performance. Now, if you want to see who makes the quickest EVs, click on the pop-out banner in the top right-hand corner of the screen to watch me drag race a Tesla Model S, a Porsche Taycan, a Mercedes EQS and an Audi e-tron GT. AMG has given the new high-performance EQE some pretty serious brakes. As standard, you get 6 piston calipers at the front and huge 415mm discs. The rear brakes come with single piston calipers and 378mm discs. Now, if that's not enough for you, you can pay extra to get a carbon ceramic brake upgrade. This adds some absolutely massive 440mm discs up front. In fact, they're so big that you can't get them with the standard 20-inch alloy wheels. You have to pay extra for the optional 21-inch rims in order to fit the brakes behind them. How have AMG's performance upgrades affected the EQE's range? Well, the normal rear-wheel drive EQE comes with a 90 kWh battery that gives it up to 410 miles of range. That's about 5 miles more than a standard Tesla Model S. The four-wheel drive AMG versions also use a 90 kWh battery, but they can't use their power quite as efficiently as the normal car, which means you don't get quite as much range. Mercedes says the 43 model has up to 331 miles of range, and the 53 can manage 322 miles. You'll be able to charge the cars at the same 170 kilowatts as the normal EQE. This means a quick 15-minute charge will give you around 110 miles of extra range. Mercedes can also tweak the battery management software using over-the-air updates, so the range could actually improve slightly in the future. The EQE 43 and 53 models come with adaptive air suspension as standard. This can lower the car by 15mm to make it more aerodynamic at higher speeds. But it can also make the car stiffer and help reduce lean in tight corners. This works together with the AMG's new stability control system, which sends more power to the rear wheels in Sport and Sport Plus mode to make the EQE 53 and 43 feel more nimble. Once you're done having fun, you can just stick it in comfort mode and let the adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist do their thing on the drive home. It shouldn't just be relaxing to cruise in, the car should be pretty easy to drive in town too. Even though AMG has made loads of changes to the EQE suspension, wheels and brakes, it decided to keep the standard car's neat rear wheel steering, so it should be easy to park. Electric cars don't need as much cooling as powerful sports cars with internal combustion engines, but their motors and batteries can still get pretty hot, especially if you do lots of 0 to 60 launches in them. I mean, what kind of idiot would do that, eh? What? Frickin' frick! Now, this is why some electric cars start to limit power to their motors after a few launches, to make sure nothing overheats. But AMG doesn't like the idea of limiting power, so it's given the EQE 53 some clever new cooling systems. Most electric cars just circulate water around their electric motors to keep them cool, but the AMG EQE can pump it directly through the middle of the motor shaft to cool it from the inside. It also has some new ceramic fins on the electric inverter to help dissipate heat, and the AMG EQE can precisely control the oil temperature in its one-speed gearbox to reduce internal friction and stop it overheating as well. It's all very clever stuff, really. Now, Mercedes hasn't said exactly how much these new AMG EQE models will cost, but you can bet they'll be a lot more expensive than the normal car. Now, that car hasn't even gone on sale yet, but it's expected to cost from £60,000 for the entry-level standard version. That means you might end up paying more than £80,000 for an AMG 43 and more than £100,000 for a top specification 53 model. Now, if you can't wait for this car to go on sale, I've actually found a great deal on a much cheaper electric car that's available right now. Now, if you want to see what the car is and the saving, click on the pop-out banner that should be appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now. There's also a link in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like. If you click on those windows there, you can watch some more videos. And if you click on that box there, you can go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.